Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Living in the Red Dot. This is me from Singapore. Today I have three perfumes for you. They are all flankers of Mon Paris, which is from the house of Yves Saint Laurent or YSL. So if this is something you're interested in, please stay tuned. So unfortunately, I don't have any samples of the original EDP of Mon Paris, but I do have a sample vial of the EDT, and I have a 30 ml bottle of the Couture, and I also have a sample vial of Antasomo. So, I'd like to first talk about what I remembered about the EDP, which was released back in 2016. So it's been a while when I tried it, but it did make quite an impression on me. It's quite a long-lasting perfume. It's very strong, fruity, it's quite dense, feminine, and it's a bit sexy. So I think it's more of a nighttime perfume for sure, not quite an everyday office perfume, at least to me. It's very strong in patchouli, so maybe that is why it feels that dense, and it's quite long lasting because of the amount of patchouli oil in it. So that's what I recall about the original EDP. Then in 2017 they released the EDT, which my sample vial is here, right here. And I think the box would probably look like this. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that the boxes for these are quite confusing because they all look the same. I mean, look at this. This is the bottle for Couture. This is the bottle, the cover for EDT, and then this is the cover for Antasomo. So yeah, very, very confusing. So be careful when you are buying this. Make sure to double check and scrutinize, that you got the right thing based on the box. And another thing is, like, the bottles all look very similar except for the bows. So this is the Couture bottle. This one has a polka dot bow. I believe the original EDP has just black. It's all black, the bow, no prints on it, but I'm not quite sure. So yeah, I'll post a picture somewhere in here to let you guys see the difference. So the EDT is not exactly like the EDP. It is much airier, and in terms of berries, it has raspberry, which doesn't react well with my skin, and I don't like it. Another difference that I remember is that because it's much lighter, I think it's easier to wear as an everyday perfume, and longevity is actually quite okay. It lasted 4+ hours for an EDT in hot weather here in Singapore. It's airy, it's fresh, it's fruity, it's sweet but not too sweet. I do have to warn you though that it still has patchouli, and the patchouli is still quite prominent. Now, because the EDP has really, really strong patchouli, this one still has patchouli, but it's less than the EDP, but still strong. So just a warning, if you don't like patchouli, you may not like this one. But again, I think the longevity is due to that amount of patchouli in this EDT concentration. Then in 2018 they released Couture, which is an EDP right here. This is a 30 ml bottle. This is very, very similar to the original EDP. The main difference here is that it's fresher, lighter, just like the EDP, but raspberry and lychee are the fruits that you smell. So, raspberry is quite strong. In fact, it reminds me of a lighter version of Lancome's Trousseau La Nuit. the most current reformulation. So if you like that one but find it too dense, this might be something that you could try. Yeah, so this one is very similar to the EDP, but the patchouli is really, really like in the background. You can't really smell it as much unless you look for it. So I think that's the biggest difference between the EDP, the EDT, and this Couture version. The patchouli is not as prominent, and the fruits that are highlighted are a bit different. It's a mixture of the raspberry and lychee. I also find it quite linear, so it didn't really change from, after it settled down after the initial spray projection. So this is definitely younger, flirtier, less serious than the EDP, which is much more of a nighttime sexy perfume. So I think this is a good daytime perfume, perfect for casual office, anywhere actually, just like the EDT. Finally, my last one is Antasomo, which is another EDP right here. So this one is the pink YSL. This was released back in 2020, and I think this is the furthest from the DNA of the YSL Mon Paris line. Basically, when I first sprayed it, all I smelled was rose. And I don't really like rose. I don't like this rose. So I wasn't really impressed right away. And then the powderiness came out. So it's a mix of powdery rose, which in other perfumes it's okay with me, but the mix here is not something I really dug. So after a while, the fruitiness that is in the other flankers, or the DNA of this Mon Paris, comes out, and it is more of a raspberry jam. So it's a jammy raspberry, so it's quite dense, definitely denser than the Couture, with powderiness around it. So I couldn't take it. I found it cloying, that mixture of rose, raspberry jam, and powder. It's a bit too much for me, and I didn't really enjoy it. Having said that, I know that a lot of women do like this one because it is quite different from the original EDP. So if you don't like the original EDP, this might be a variation that you would appreciate, especially if you like rose, raspberry, or powdery notes. So that is my review for this 3 flankers of YSL's Mon Paris. If you like this review, please press like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.